What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of the Hillside Club. I'm your host, James Martin III. Sitting alongside me is Rob Cardini, and we are back, man. We are back. This is where there are no hot takes, just real ones. A lot has happened since our last full episode.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. If you look behind me here, there's a certain banner up. I'm wearing a certain shirt right now.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about those New York Knicks, baby. Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable what they got done. I'm speechless.
It still doesn't feel real. In a way, it doesn't feel real. It didn't feel real for the longest time. Like, even after they had won, I remember just like the next 2 days, I felt I still can't describe how I felt. Like, it was just truly insane. And then once that Monday, I think, rolled around after they won, where you started seeing all like the sports shows talk about it, and First Take and Get Up, and the Herd, and everybody was debating where did the run stand in history, and that's when it kind of felt real. Like, wow, this is how they're actually talking about the New York Knicks right now. I think that's when it finally sat in, and then you saw the parade, and Knicks fans are going to be on a forever high. It doesn't matter what. Knicks could probably miss the playoffs next year. No one's going to care because the drought is finally over in New York.
I wouldn't care. I saw a video, guy said, I can die now. I can die in peace. Like, I can die, and I wouldn't charge, or I wouldn't be mad if my killer was went free. Like, that's how much the Knicks mean to New York, man. And it's the Mecca. I saw Kenny Smith say something about the Mecca and why it's so big. Like why basketball is so big for New York. I spoke on it on an episode I did on my own, but New York City is so jam-packed population-wise. Like, it is just overpopulated in a sense. And there's not a lot of places for, I guess, the youth to be involved with sports. Like, yes, there are baseball, softball fields in the city. Yes, there are soccer fields and tennis courts and whatnot. But basketball is a very accessible sport, and there is a basketball court on almost every other block in New York City and the surrounding boroughs, right? Like, Manhattan may be a little different. You go a little north, Harlem, yes, Dykeman's up there, but basketball is so accessible in New York City, which is why the fan base in the city understand basketball like no other. There's no other city in America that understands basketball the way, Knicks fans in New York City does. So that's why it means so much to this fan base, outside of the fact that it's New York City. So, like, when he said that, because he grew up in New York, Kenny Smith is a New Yorker, and he said just to see his city as happy as they are, and he's not a Knick himself, but he loves to see it. And that's what it means. That's what basketball means. That's why they call it the Mecca. Not just because it's Madison Square Garden, but it is the Mecca of basketball. Like, a lot of talent came out of New York City in the early stages of basketball. Like, you can go all the way back, Harlem Wrens, like, the Globetrotters come from New York. It's just so much history when it comes to New York and basketball, and I'm just so happy for New York. I really am. It's raining for the first day today. First time since the Knicks won the finals.
It's been a minute.
They broke a curse or something. We were just talking about it a few episodes ago where we're like, it feels like it just rains every weekend. It hasn't rained on the weekend since the Knicks won that Cavs series. Mm-hmm. It's been unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The world is healing itself ever since the Knicks won. I think crime's probably down in New York City. People are getting married.
Crazy.
I'm sure you guys have seen that clip where the guy said, they've been engaged for 53 years, and now they're going to get married. Maybe James will be next. You never know.
This kid is sick in the head.
But no, it's just you can't take this away from Knicks fans. Like, people are going to debate where this run is all time. Where does this team rank all time? We got some rankings coming up ourselves, but it's just, you can't. It's not even worth discussing. It's not even worth discussing because you can't take it away from Knicks fans. I saw. We were talking about it before the show. I saw someone tweet. Here's a Cade Cunningham highlight tape versus the Knicks earlier this season. It was like, here's Cade Cunningham dropping 45 on the NBA champions, and someone quote tweeted it saying, "The NBA what? The NBA champion New York Knicks." Like, that's good enough. It doesn't matter anymore. They finally got over the hump. It's just been a euphoric feeling. And I don't know. I mean, I think they can run it back. I really do. I think this team. Mm-hmm. I think people are trying to find every reason to say that this team wasn't as good as they actually were. And again, it doesn't matter who you play. If your plus minus is that good and your dominance is that real, like, that means you are truly one of maybe not one of the best teams assembled ever, but it's one of the greatest runs that the NBA has ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, they did it. There's only one All-NBA player on the roster this year, and that was Jalen Brunson. He made the second team All-NBA. And they got it done against the first and only ever unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I don't think people understand the gravity of that. The first and only Defensive Player of the Year that was unanimous.
And went at him, too. Went at him.
He averaged 32 points against this team. The same team that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the two-time MVP, struggled against. Let me remind you, the two-time MVP struggled against. And he didn't have another All-NBA player. Shai has Chet, and we saw what he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just incredible, an incredible run. You saw the point differential, 50 points ahead of the second place team, which was the Warriors in 2017. 50 points. Crazy. What was it, 283 that they were up there? Like, this run, and then it seems like people have forgotten the discourse around, the whole run after they go down 2-1 to the Hawks. What was it? Hawks in 6, right? They win by almost 60 points in game 6 in that Hawks series. Then it was the next series. It's like, all right, the Sixers just beat the Celtics in 7. Like, Embiid looks good, and Maxey looks as good as he could ever look, right? Like,
yep,
it's Sixers in 6, Sixers in 7. I'm hearing it in group chats. I'm hearing it all over. People are texting me like, oh, okay. What happens? BTA, belt to ass. The Knicks whooped that team up where I think Tyler Kolek, Mohamed Diawara, and Pacome Dadier got into almost every single one of those games.
Crazy.
Those are a lot. And then the next series, the Cavs, where it was, all right, the Cavs are coming off of a big series versus the Pistons. Like, those were the favorites to win the East. I think the Cavs should be the favorites now, right? Oh, the Sixers were only the 7th seed. They're not that great. Oh, no. BTA. And then that miraculous comeback where the Knicks were rusty in game 1 and then Harden just that series of plays down the stretch where Brunson did what he did. And then the next 3 games were just BTA. Unbelievable. We had the Landry Shamet game. They won by 30, 40. Unbelievable. But again, you see how the discourse was, all right, it was Sixers in 6. Then it was Cavs in 5, Cavs in 6. And then it's, Spurs might sweep these boys. Again, do I need to remind you guys, look at the banner box. NBA champions. Look at my shirt. NBA champions. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So based off that, James, I'm going to need you to rank the last 8 NBA champions. Because with the Knicks winning, that marked 8 straight different champions in the NBA. And a lot of people have different, opinions on that, what it means, what it doesn't.
Yeah.
Who's, a lot of them were there frauds in the mix. But so last 8 champions, you had 2019 Toronto Raptors, then the Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, Thunder, and the Knicks. Go ahead and rank them, James.
I'm going to give my thoughts on each team really quickly. The Raptors, if it's not for KD getting hurt and Clay getting hurt, we don't even know if they win. I'm just put that there, right? Lakers, the bubble ring. I have just I can't. I don't respect the bubble ring, but I'm gonna get flack for that. The Bucks, pretty tough. That was Giannis took over 4 games straight, like just dominant. I know CP3 went down in the finals. I think he was out for 2 games, but Giannis was like averaging 30 plus for those 4 straight games. Nuggets or the Warriors, pretty insane run. Curry did it without KD, did it before him and after him. That's pretty sick. The Nuggets played literally nobody on the way to that ring. Like, was it the 8th? Was that the 8th seed Heat?
Yeah, that was.
Jimmy Butler just like hustle buckets in the finals, and the Nuggets. So yeah, the Nuggets. I'm gonna put them all the way at the bottom first. Then the Celtics. The Celtics played injured teams back to back to back to get to the finals. And then they played the Mavericks, where they exposed the living hell out of Luka Doncic. Like, they went at him like no other. OKC last year, that's a pretty good one. Their team, this is the thing, though. Their team is built to perfection. So I can't take that away from them.
Mm-hmm.
But they did play some tough teams. That was probably the toughest we've ever seen in the West was last year. This year, pretty tough as well. The Knicks, I think the Knicks, this run, I don't want to be biased, but just doing it with New York on your chest, with the doubt that they had and the way they ended the season, I think it's up there. I think it's up there with one of the best champs ever. So I'm going to put the Knicks at number one. I don't care. Right? Like the point differential, again, plus 280, plus 283 point differential in the playoffs. Up against the first and only ever unanimous defensive player of the year. I got them at number one. I'm going to put the Warriors 2022. Yeah, I'm going to put them second. I'm gonna put the Bucks third because Giannis and that run, that 4-game run, you saw Mikal Bridges talk about it and how he remembers going up 2-0 and he's like, yeah, we got this in the bag. And then Giannis just completely took over. So that can be like my 2A, 2B right there, honestly. That Warriors Bucks. Then I'm going to I'll put the Lakers. Again, I just, my only thing about that bubble ring was there was no travel, no fans in the arena, nothing. It was just, it was like runs. They were just in there playing basketball. And everyone's like, well, that's the purest form of basketball. Well, guess what? That's not what the NBA is. They play in front of 18,000 people every night. That's a factor. There was no depth perception in the arena. They were like playing in a training facility. That is a factor when it comes to playoff basketball and NBA basketball. There's a reason why guys get from playing in college gyms, then get to the league where there's so much space behind the rim and their shooting percentages go down. The arenas are packed to 18,000. Like it's another level. Like there's stuff like that matters, right? But I will say, yes, the Lakers, I'm going to put them there. AD was playing out of his mind that whole run. The Raptors 2019, I'll put right behind the Lakers. So what is that? Like 6, I believe. Yeah. Again, because the Kawhi shot versus the Sixers that bounces around that we could be seeing. Embiid could have actually made his first ECF. Like a lot of miraculous things happened, but that can be said for any of these teams. And then I think
you're right. Yeah. You just got to do 6 and 7 because 8. You already said the Nuggets, so you're between the Celtics and Thunder for 6 and 7.
Yeah, Thunder, and then Celtics. So yeah, Thunder at 6.
Yeah, probably should have specified before I even asked. So was that like did you rank them by runs, or just did you rank them by like you think which team was actually the best? I would still have the Knicks.
I'd say
run.
Way. I'd say runs.
Okay.
Because I love the Knicks, obviously. The Thunder last year were ridiculous.
Yeah, but listen,
they're also a Halliburton Achilles away from not winning that thing.
That's what's weird about it, though, because I would still have them either way. Like you rank them, like if you say who's like the best team out of those 8, I would probably have the Thunder in the top 3.
Yeah,
but weirdly enough, they did almost lose to the Pacers. The Pacers just had some weird voodoo last year, but
then they faced the Nuggets, who they had injuries as well.
Yeah, no, I'd probably still put. Yeah, no, I like based off of runs, I would agree. I mean, I would put the Lakers at last regardless, just because of the bubble, but that's just me.
Nah, the Nuggets, that Nuggets run was so gross. Like that year, the finals was so weak. Like that was one of the weakest finals I've ever watched in my whole life.
I couldn't tell you a single highlight from that.
Yeah,
at least the Celtics Mavs one. I remember Pritchard hit like a half court shot.
That was the year like Jokic hit like 3 of those like.
Yeah, I do remember
versus
that.
The Lakers. I remember that.
That was great to watch.
Yeah, no, and then the Bucks, like Giannis, that was our freshman year, summer. I remember watching that game at the grad party, just Giannis completely taking over. Disgusting.
Yeah, I killed my guy CP3. Should have that ring. It's terrible.
Yeah, so that was just based on runs. I don't know about best team. Like that Lakers team was stacked. But regardless, yes, it's the bubble. That Lakers team was stacked. They had former All-Stars up and down the roster. Like Rondo played it out of his mind. I know people get on Kuzma, but he had a really good finals, really good playoffs.
KCP.
KCP
on that team?
Yeah, like Dwight Howard. Like they had guys on that team that, again, another team with a bunch of ex-All-Stars and LeBron, but
Yeah.
we're not getting that. And then I think the one I haven't spoken enough about was that Curry run, right? That Curry run was just, it was storybook. Because he finally got his finals MVP, where he should have got it the first time around when Andre Iguodala got it, which is disgusting. For stopping LeBron. LeBron averaged 30 points in that same finals. He averaged 30 points and almost a triple-double. What did he stop? I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, that's my ranking.
All right, fair enough. Speaking of the Bucks, because we're on the topic, so Giannis, he's going to be traded before the draft, apparently. This is Monday, the draft's tomorrow, so he's going. Apparently, Shams reporting it's either the Heat or the Celtics. I don't know. It's weird with Giannis. The amount of rumors. I mean, it was really just a matter of time with him, I guess. The amount, like, you can only say you want to go somewhere else so many times. There can only be so many rumors before it actually ends up happening. To me, the Heat don't even really make sense. Maybe I'm missing something here because they're probably going to be giving up Tyler Hero if they do, and Bam. I don't understand who's playing with Giannis if he goes to the Heat. That's what I don't understand.
They don't have Jimmy Butler.
They don't have a young star to pair with him.
Wiggins.
Wiggins and Giannis.
Davion Mitchell and Tyler Hero.
Well, I mean, they have some nice pieces, but I don't think.
But like they're gonna have to trade some of those pieces.
Well, yeah, that,
Giannis.
and then it's almost like,
and he's back in the same situation.
Yeah, it'd be a worse Bucks team. like when they even had their title runs. The Celtics make sense.
I think this is gonna be one of those trades where teams give up too much for a guy who's a little injury prone late in his career.
I think it's a risk.
Yeah, I'm the Celtics. Also, you saw that thing about like Jaylen Brown. Like they're moving on from Jaylen Brown.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Too. To me, this is honestly these talks with Giannis and like knowing that one of the finalists is the Celtics says more about the Celtics than it does the Bucks, because I think Brian Windhorst said it. Shout out Windy, always has great takes. He said that the Celtics being in trades with Giannis shows that they're basically saying right now, we don't think we could beat the Knicks right now. In the playoffs, we don't think with the team we currently have, we could beat the Knicks. That we lost to them last year. You could talk about the Tatum injury, but the series had shifted anyway. Knicks stole 2 on the road. I think the Knicks win anyway. This year, they definitely wouldn't have beat them. And if you make no changes, I don't think you beat them, in the coming year. So that's one way to look at it. And like you said, the fact that Jaylen Brown is the piece being talked about, even if it doesn't happen with Giannis, there's a chance Jaylen Brown gets traded anyway for another piece. But let's say Giannis ends up going to the Heat. You're already listening to talks for him.
They're moving on from him. But who are you going to go grab? Like Jaylen Brown's a finals MVP.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis makes sense. Giannis, I would definitely take over Brown. But other than that, I don't really know who else you would go trade for. I can't think of like another like big like Giannis that you would take instead of Jaylen Brown. I mean, there's unrealistic guys you could talk about, a Wemby, Jokic.
But those what are we talking about?
That's just not feasible.
See, I don't know. The Bucks should have traded Giannis when they had the chance to.
1,000%.
They should have, because now it's just the injuries this past year kind of like, I don't know. And then the Knicks going to win it also changes everything, because now the Knicks feel like, oh, we don't need him, and that was going to be their number one candidate to go and grab him. And the Knicks kind of did that same thing that the Celtics are doing, where they're looking for Giannis with Cat. Yeah. After they lost to the Pacers that first year, they're like, all right, we got to go make some changes. And they did it. Now Karl-Anthony Towns is a champion. I don't know, man. Moving on from Jaylen Brown, weird. Giannis, I saw a tweet. I don't know if this was real or not, but Giannis said something about, like, he doesn't want to leave Milwaukee, but wants to leave the Bucks. Like, was that real? It's starting to get out of hand.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw that too. I don't know if that's real though. I mean, I don't know what's in Milwaukee that he'd want to stay there. You can't tell me that he's got that much stationed in Milwaukee that he actually cares about leaving. He already moved his kids out of there too. He already moved his family out of Milwaukee. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even I could see Giannis not winning another ring.
No, 100%. Especially the way this Adam Silver era is going, with this parity of 8 different champions in the last 8 years. Like, I mean, it's great, but I saw a post. It's like, who, like, you look at some of these stars, like, they've never gotten back to the finals.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, we grew up in an era where, like, it was dynasties. The Heat, it was the Spurs, the Warriors, the Cavs were good. Like the Lakers were good. Like those teams, the Celtics, like those teams would always end up back in the finals. Now you're looking at some of these stars, they'll probably never make it back. Like Harden never made it back. Westbrook, he never made it back. Like these guys never make it back.
I will say though, I could see if Giannis comes back healthy, and
he's so dominant, man.
Like him and Tatum really could just dominate the entire league. Like really, who's stopping them? I think there's a lot of bad discourse around Tatum, corny, all in all, but Tatum's a baller, man. He really is. Tatum,
I think he need a guard.
They probably do, but I mean, you never know what Peyton Pritchard. He seems to just get better every year. So,
and I also don't think it's a. I saw like these Celtics fans talking about it. What if it's a coaching problem? The way they play.
We talked about this in the group chat with our boy Anch too. They would have to change the way they play if Giannis comes and plays there, because he can't just sit outside and chuck threes. Like he's not going to play into that. I mean, sure, I guess if you want to keep chucking threes and hope Giannis gets rebounds, but that's just not how. I don't think the way that Celtics play right now would facilitate the best to the way Giannis plays.
No.
But, I think definitely you have to change it up a little bit. And like you said, having an actual true point guard would be, I think, more of a necessity if Giannis went to the Celtics.
It's huge. The Celtics, it's
almost
weird.
like when they had Drew Holiday.
I was going to say, they gave up Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons, who I believe is not even on the team anymore. So.
Yeah, I don't know. But
before that second apron, man, that second apron. This is why I hope Cat, I need you to take a pay cut. Please.
Would be big time.
You are now a legend. Like you are a New York sports legend. You are cemented in like New York Sports Hall of Fame. Your life is forever changed. You'll never pay for another meal in New York City.
I think he'll take a pay cut. I don't think it's going to be as big as Brunson, but I think he'll take a cut.
You saw what he said on the Shannon Sharp pod.
But
years ago, he was like, if we all get in a room and we all think like if we're all doing this, he's like, he's like, are we all gonna do this? Like, I hope that's what it is, because they did just pay OG a good amount of money, and was worth every single dollar, But
I think Cat will take a pay cut. I just don't think it's gonna be as big as Brunson.
If he takes a pay cut, they can keep Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, I think he will. I don't think he wants to go. I don't think he wants to screw over the team. I don't think he wants to be anywhere else. So it's just like, I don't think he'd have a problem doing it.
Jim Dolan already, Mr. Grumpy already say, we're not going into the second apron. Like,
kind of smart though.
Yeah,
kind of smart. He's trying to actually have sustained success. So good for him for thinking like that. But we'll see what happens to Giannis. That is before the draft. Now the draft's coming out of nowhere.
Literally nowhere.
Can't believe it's already happening tomorrow. AJ DeBonsa, I'm going to assume, is going to be the first pick. But I feel like we know that he's going to be good. I really do. I don't think there's a chance he's a bust. I just think he's too talented. I think his game honestly might be even better in the NBA pace and style of play. To me, I want to talk about how I think that whoever takes Cam Boozer is going to regret it. As we're watching this, Mbappe's in the background, and he just put in an absolutely insane goal.
I didn't even see it.
I know you didn't. I caught you out of the corner of my eye to see if you were looking that way.
These dudes are insane,
my!
Man.
I'm like talking. Cam Boozer and Mbappe just nailed a goal. Oh my Lord! It was from deep too.
He's a different person in the World Cup. He might be one of the greatest World Cup risers. Anyways, we'll get to it at the end of the episode.
We'll talk about the World Cup. Yeah, I just think
Boozer,
that whoever takes Boozer is gonna regret it. Here comes the replay.
Like, Cam Boozer, like, oh my gosh, yeah, what a goal. Cam Boozer, we talked about it all March Madness. I'm so sleep on this. I am so sleep. Like, I don't know where this hype that happens in the NFL draft, NBA draft. This stuff happens every single year where the owners and these guys are all of a sudden, a lot of people are looking at this guy, or and then just a complete. Not gonna say he's gonna be a complete bust, because he can't be a complete bust. The dude is a unit. He's a unit, and he can shoot the ball, and he's an athletic. Like, he's athletic, but he's not like elusive. Where like a guy like DeBonsta or Peterson, those guys are elusive scorers, right? I think he'll be a great piece. Like, he gives me like Aaron Gordon vibes. Cam Boozer.
No.
Like,
nope. I don't even think
and he can't even jump that high. He can't even jump like
that high. Also, Aaron Gordon get hot from deep every once in a while. Like, Aaron Gordon will pull out a bag.
He will.
I mean, listen, there's.
I was saying that's maybe his ceiling.
Yeah, that's true. Because I guess there's no telling who's to say if, maybe Boozer works on his bag and he develops his offensive game a little bit more. Then, maybe we're having another discussion. But based off what I've seen right now, I just don't think he has an offensive bag that's going to translate to the NBA. You can't just bully people in the NBA.
Exactly.
Like, it's going to be, everybody's going to be your size. And sure, that might work every now and then. But, it's not like he has like any real post game.
No,
he can. I guess he can hit an open three.
Back him down.
He can hit an open three, but it's not his game. I don't know. I just think that with how high he's going, I think a team will regret drafting him. I think there's so many other players in this draft that are worth taking another chance on instead of him. Like, I think he should fall and drop, but we'll see.
Have you seen this discourse around like how like Brunson is going to be at fault for the new meta coming out the draft in small guards that are crafty, like Darius Acuff, which I think Acuff is a great pick. Don't get it twisted. Like, he's a great pick. But and like Dirk too, where like Dirk was the same way, where everyone tried to find like these power forwards that can shoot from 3 levels. And it kind of ruined a lot of teams in the draft. But I think the biggest thing about Dirk and Jalen Brunson is you got to remember how these guys' work ethic is.
Yeah.
That's just a different thing. That's why you got to look for in a draft piece, the work ethic. Jalen Brunson is sick in the head when it comes to being better. He is like, his parents instilled it into his head. And that's the type of stuff. Like, you saw the reports about Darren Peterson, where there's like, he was surprised that like most questions were not about not about basketball, but what he does outside of basketball.
Yeah.
And that's because these teams want to know, are you serious? He, of all people in the draft this year, had a lot of background noise and stories that from off the court, right? Mm-hmm. Does he care to play? Is he worried about himself? He's one of those guys where it's like, does he really love the game? Like, and that's what you got to look for in the draft. That's what it is. Cam Boozer, I can't speak on him. Like you said, he can hit an open three. That's what I'm
saying. Like, you look at a mock, right? And they got a mock 3 to the Grizzlies. 4.
Why would the
Caleb
Grizzlies
Wilson
do that?
So you're telling me you'd rather Cam Boozer than Caleb Wilson? Like that? I mean, based off what I watched, I just don't see how you could say that. Like, I understand that, Boozer was more dominant. I'm not going to say he wasn't, but that's the college game. Like, Wilson showed stuff that was like, okay, this guy's a freak and can probably go, still...
Yeah,
has way more potential.
Way
like, take
more
a chance
potential.
on him.
Way more, even his wingspan, everything. Like, he's just so much potential.
You're gonna, as a GM, like this is not the NFL where it's like you're looking for one piece to really, put the team together. Like the Grizzlies are a team that they need. Probably, who knows how long you have Ja for? Who knows what that situation's like?
He's gone. Yeah.
You're telling me that as the Grizzlies, you wouldn't want Keaton Wagler over Cameron Boozer? Keaton Wagler's a bucket.
I'm gonna say something that's might be a little crazy. Give me Zuby Ejiofor, just for his post work. Like, if I'm the Knicks, give me Zub. I'm sorry. Cam just has not impressed me. Like, he has not impressed me. His footwork at his size is not where it needs to be. And he can hit the 3, yes, like Rob said, but it has to be an open one. It's not like it's his game. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not trying to be a hater. I know I sound like one, but it's just, I think that Duke team is just up and down, built so well, again, and they just played so perfectly for what they had.
And he was just their best guy, but it's not like a Cooper Flagg who you knew was going to just be dominant. Like, Cooper Flagg was on a great team, but he was that dude, and he has an NBA level bag. Cam Boozer's on a great team, but he doesn't have an NBA level bag.
It was a Cooper Flagg game every game.
Yeah.
Every game. Like, yes, again, great team. But it was his game to take over every game. Devonsta, solid team, but it was his team. It was his game every single game he was out there. That's the difference. That's I feel like that's a big thing when it comes to drafting a guy like that, like a lottery pick.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you got guys who develop, like Jalen Brunson, second-round pick. Like these guys that develop and turn into stars in the league. But I'm talking about these lottery guys that are picked in the top 5. Were they that guy? Like, were they that guy each and every night, every single time they stepped on the court?
People will tell you Boozer was, but again, it's easy. I feel like it's easier to do so when you can just bully, people into the paint.
I should say, was he that guy greater than the counterparts?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
But and the last bit of NBA news, Dusty May going to coach for the Dallas Mavericks, fresh off a national title with Michigan. I saw Dave Portnoy, obviously big Michigan alum and super fan, talk about this and basically saying, you can't be mad at Dusty May whatsoever. I completely agree with that. I mean, that's a lot of coaches' dream to get to the highest level. He gave himself the opportunity to. People honestly expected this before he even won a national title at Michigan. But I don't know. I just feel like so it must really just be, his true desire, because coming off a national title, I think a lot of people would want to just stay where you are and try to run it back. You look at what Dan Hurley did, passing up a Lakers offer for head coach to stay at UConn, and maybe that's how I'm going to look at it. Just maybe UConn's a better job than Michigan basketball.
Hell yeah, basketball capital of the world. Michigan athletics, yeah, they did just get two national titles out of the biggest sports. But what a roller coaster after.
Very big.
Like, I understood like the contract negotiations were still ongoing and they couldn't get anything done. Like, you win a national championship, you get guys like the team that he built to come to Michigan. I feel like it should be a blank check. We'll see. I guess I understand the NBA appeal, but like the NBA could also be the start and the finish very quickly. They move on quick in the NBA. Like in college basketball, you get chances, and now with like NIL, like it's more on the athletic department than it is on the coach. But in the NBA, like the Mavericks have another high pick, I'm pretty sure. They have their guy, Cooper Flag. They get Kyrie back next year. So it is a very appealing landing spot for Dusty May. But
they have 2 first-round picks, the Mavericks, the 9th and the 30th.
Exactly. That 9th pick is in a sweet spot because there's a lot of guys in this draft after the late lottery that are solid. So I just Michigan, why? I don't know. Why not? Did they believe that it was more of their program and I guess being able to attract recruits than it was Dusty May's actual game plan? But when you talk to the players and you talk to that staff, it sounds like it's a Dusty May thing.
Mm-hmm.
The way they were playing. All I know is this is what it sounds like. It sounds like UConn's going to get their 3rd under the Dan Hurley era next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough blow for Michigan. You're probably thinking you win the national title. You got a chance to probably maybe run it back, have some sustained dominance. They had
pieces returning.
Yeah, I was going to say they had pieces returning, and then just like that, gone. I don't know. Dusty May's a winner, though, so I think it'll be interesting to see what he does in the NBA because at FAU, he was winning, went to Michigan, won a national title. We'll see. NBA is obviously a completely different animal, but I think, like you said, you got Flag, you got your young piece, you got Kyrie. They'll probably add somebody.
Somebody's going to add.
So we'll see what they can do, but just the NBA just had news just fly out of nowhere. Like to go from your title to the Giannis talks, one of your biggest superstars, and then the draft. Like NBA's on a heater right now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Trae Young just signed.
Oh yeah, I just saw that
extension. Aaron Wiggins, Aaron Wiggins, random last night, traded to the Hawks, which is a good pickup for the Hawks. Hopefully they can get Jalen Johnson and become that dude and not be as passive as he was in the playoffs. But Aaron Wiggins, a solid piece. What are the Thunder doing? They're just stacking up picks and being weird. Like, what are they loading up for? Sam Presti scares me, genuinely. So I got to keep my eye on that one. The NBA, the news just comes out of nowhere with this league, nowhere. I don't even know if we got to speak about Myles Garrett. a while ago. But like,
no, it happened. I don't know if I was in Italy for that or that was just like after. I don't know. I don't. Well, we didn't get to speak on it, but yeah, no, that was another blockbuster move.
Blockbuster, but yeah, the NBA like that when that happens in the NFL is crazy. But the NBA stuff like that just happens so often, especially in the last like 5 to 10 years. Just so many random trades, and like KD, the Luka news, like so many Harden. It's just so many things like that where the stars of the league are just getting shipped around. But yeah, I think AJ DeBonsta will be a Wizard come tomorrow.
Yeah, I would
I think,
so.
And in Darren Peterson's corner, like only meeting with the Wizards is crazy. Like they expect him to go first, which is I don't know if you saw. Peterson's agent is also Keontae George's agent, and I believe the Jazz have the second pick. So if he gets drafted to the Jazz,
he's going to the Jazz.
It's gonna mess up Keontae George's extension or him re-signing, and that's bad guidance by Peterson's agent, in my opinion. I don't know. NBA is a funny place, very funny.
Yeah, a lot of funny stuff. U.S. Open was this past weekend. Wyndham Clark wins his second U.S. Open at Shinnecock. I mean, kind of a weird overall weekend at Shinnecock. I mean, early on, you had a lot of people, including myself, criticizing how they set up the course and first time that they're ever watering the greens mid-round and it wasn't set up hard enough. By the end of the tournament, it still feels like it was hard enough, but they still could have made it a bit more challenging, I think. And just the way it was advertised, I think people expected a little bit more. And then, Thursday, after the fog delay, you see people go out and they're spinning shots on greens like you've never seen before at Shinnecock. So I think that really threw everybody for a loop. And the reality is Wyndham Clark took advantage of it. A lot of players had a chance to do it. They didn't. He played some really, really incredible golf this weekend. I think he took advantage of, the earlier, easier conditions. And then on Saturday, I think he took advantage of his late tee time in the sense that, Saturday morning, midday, the wind was crazy. And then by the time he's on, midway through his back nine, maybe even early into his back nine, the wind's dying down to, 5 to 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour gusts, which is, very manageable compared to what they were dealing with, the rest of the week. So that's when he kind of went on that little heater on the back nine, and he took advantage of his two best opportunities. Looked like he almost fumbled the bag on Sunday. Drops 3 shots on his front nine on Sunday. It's like, okay, here we go. Now we're going to get some, at least entertainment out of this final round. And he holds on. You got to feel bad for Sam Burns, who, just 2 putts that couldn't believe they didn't drop. But he's just gone through heartbreak at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I think the just like a weird takeaway or not a weird takeaway, but a takeaway from this weekend is Wyndham Clark, he gets his second major where he won that 2023 U.S. Open, where he I guess fended off Rory, and then yesterday where he won his second at Shinnecock versus had to fend off Sam Burns, and we look at last year him at Oakmont, right? Where he had that tantrum and everyone was getting on him. And he said, that's not who I am. And what a turnaround for him. This year, he goes out there and wins it. 6-point lead going into the championship round or a 7-point lead. Like, I think that's just like a crazy 180 for him, just to go out there and get it done. And it ended up being wire to wire down the stretch. So,
yeah, I think the hate's a little unnecessary with Wyndham Clark. Like, I get it. Like, he screwed up. He knows he screwed up. And I think at the time, like, his apology almost felt a little, like, forced. It was like he kind of realized, like, oh, wait, shit, I have to apologize for what I did. And it didn't feel as sincere as I think fans wanted it to. And with how historic Oakmont is, how could you do that? It's like people have done a lot worse. I mean, to be honest, the guy right over my shoulder right here has done some pretty bad stuff, and people would die for him. I mean, I'm still a Tiger super fan, but like, it's like, I mean, and Wyndham's not my favorite golfer by any means, but it's like, I don't think I've ever seen a crowd root against a guy like they did yesterday with Wyndham. I mean, every single shot he hit, you had people screaming, "Get in the bunker, miss the green, get it." Like, I've never seen that unless it was like a Ryder Cup and you had Americans jawing at Europeans and vice versa. But to actually root against an individual like that,
yeah,
I don't know last time. I don't know if I've ever seen that in golf.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Like, and what we saw to him last year was just a competitive nature. Like,
yeah,
like that happens, especially in a sport like golf, like where it's literally just you out there and you're battling your mental capacity to stay focused, and then the course, and then the elements, and then everything combined. That's what golf is, and sometimes it gets frustrating, and that's what it got the best of him last year. But yeah, for people to just be rooting against him with that much passion, I think it's just like you said, a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, no doubt. Sure. My other main takeaway from the U.S. Open this week is that all the other golfers on the PGA Tour, and I guess, the LIV guys that come over for the majors, they just better keep praying and, thanking their lucky stars, whatever the saying is, that Scottie Scheffler has not fully figured out his putting and taken it to the next level, because that's the only reason Scottie doesn't win every single tournament. It's actually incredible that if this man just found a way to be a little bit better with his putter, I think he'd literally win every tournament he plays in. He's been in every single one this year. He's always sticking around at the end. And it's just like, if he could just get a few more putts to drop, this guy's going to get it done. And it's just like, he just struggles to do so. I mean, even yesterday, he bogeyed one, and then he battled, and then right around like that 10-11 stretch, he got a birdie to drop. I was like, okay, now Scottie might make a run, but then he just couldn't get a couple more putts to drop. And it's like, there's just too many times I feel like where you're watching Scottie and it's like, he's got a 10-footer, can he make it? And he misses it. And it's just like, the other PGA Tour golfers just better be so thankful that he hasn't fully figured out his putting yet, because that is the one thing that's holding him back. Sure, maybe his irons aren't as good as they were last year. I mean, he was historic last year, but even with that, he always finds a way to get himself in position, and it just comes down to lack of putts made. Maybe he should just hit up Sam Burns, because Sam Burns might be the best putter in golf, and Sam Burns is his buddy. So maybe he should just try to do what Sam does. But I mean, I don't know. That was my takeaway. Like, if Scottie got his putting to like in a true elite level,
yeah,
it'd be over. Like, he'd literally win every tournament.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Next week, he's got one of his favorite events coming up, Travelers Championship in our home state of Connecticut.
Yeah, man. That's always a fun tournament.
Yeah, we'll try and get out there. Like the putting with Scottie, even every major this year so far, I feel like that's what it's come down to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we said it earlier this year on the pod. Like, if he can just put together a few good putts, some of these rounds, huge birdie putts down the stretch, the narratives are different this year, completely different. So, but yeah, there's one more major this year.
Yeah,
the Open. Oh, I can't remember what that is. I know Wimbledon is
starts with a B.
Tennis.
Gosh, I know. Open this year. Royal Birkdale Golf Club in England. Yeah.
Starts with a B. Another sport starts with a B. Baseball. Let's get into our MLB Quick Hits here. We haven't really been able to talk about it, but as we do know, Aaron Judge went down. We never got to speak on it. And some Yankee fans think it's still possible for them to go and win it all. I said that this team hadn't shown us enough for me to think they can go and win without Judge or stay afloat without him. And they're kind of proving me wrong, but I think it's just a little bit of they're on a little joyride, and that's what we saw this weekend with Cincinnati going to take 2 out of 3 in the Bronx. So,
yeah, I don't know, they suck. not actually, but it's predictable. I mean, I saw right after they had that good stretch, I feel like everybody started to get back on their train. I honestly don't even remember.
They went like on 9-2.
Yeah, and everybody was back on the hype train, and Paul Goldschmidt playing some great baseball, no doubt about that. And everybody was like, oh, see, they'll be all right. They're figuring it out. And Jazz started wearing Stanton's pants, and everybody, I'm not even gonna make a joke, but but it's just like they're not about it. They're not about it. I just saw, and this is a perfect example. 0 for 22. 0 for the last 22 with runners in scoring position.
That's where it's at.
That should never happen. It just is a microcosm of what's going to happen in the postseason, and that'll be it for them. So I'm still sleeping on them. To me, you got to look at the other bright spots in this team. Cam Schlittler,
dog,
without a doubt, AL Cy Young.
Yeah,
without a doubt. What he's doing is impeccable. Right now, he's 8-3, has a 1.71 ERA. 109 strikeouts, 0.89 WHIP. I mean, he's dominant. I mean, we saw the flash of this in the wild card versus Boston last year, and it was like, okay, we'll see what this guy can do over the full course of a season. And he's lived up to the hype. Obviously, this past Friday, 13 strikeouts, no walks, 4 hits, no runs allowed.
Yeah.
Another dominant pitching performance. So that's like my main takeaway from the Yankees is like little things like that. It was going to be, Judge and Schlittler for me. Now it's more Schlittler because another freak injury for Judge. Judge in these freak injuries, he literally would have had 5 straight MVPs, but 2 freak injuries, have held him back from that, which suck. The phantom toe injury where he ran into Dodger Stadium wall.
Yeah.
This one where he dives into the ground and he cracks a rib. Like,
you think that has anything to do with his size?
No. I think I literally just, I mean, what's your size got to do about running into a wall though?
How the thing in like basketball, it's always like, these bigger guys, shorter careers, and you don't think so?
No. He ran into a wall. He's trying to make a play. He ran into a wall, breaks a toe. Diving catch. I mean, yeah, for that, you can maybe just say because he has more weight and more force going into the ground. That's valid, I guess. But even so, it's like he's, made diving catches his whole career. So, and he does a pretty good job making sure he slides through it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, just a phantom injury. Other thing in the MLB, forget the Yankees. Let's go across town.
Yeah.
It's no secret that the New York Mets actually suck this year. And to me, it's just like, it's not being talked about enough. Like, this should be like front page of every sports media, newspaper, magazine, TV show, every single week of how colossally bad this is from the New York Mets. Like, this is an absolute disgrace that they are actually this bad of a baseball team. What I'm seeing from them is disgusting. To allow what they did the other day versus the Phillies, you gave up a cycle, a multi-home run game. It was like it turned comical. Then yesterday, Soto's trying to extend a single into a double that he had no chance for. I don't know what's going on. The fact that they didn't fire their coach or when in the beginning of the season when they got off to that terrible start. And again, like Frank the Tank superfan, Mets superfan said, you're basically, if you're not doing it, you're basically saying to the team, we allow this poor play. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It cannot be talked about enough how bad this is. And mostly because of their payroll. When you have that high of a payroll and you didn't want to sign Pete Alonso back and you went out and you got a guy like Bo Bichette and you're paying him all this money, you're paying Lindor all this money, you're paying Soto all this money, to be this bad and basically be done already, and we are not even through June, and you basically have no real playoff hopes, is absolutely disgusting. It's almost to the point where I feel bad for Mets fans.
I don't. But no, yeah, like the biggest thing about this is the payroll, right? Like, there's all this talk about, this salary cap and I guess a salary floor, and they're going back and forth, the owners, the players. It's the fact that the Mets have this payroll, it kind of defeats the whole argument of that baseball needs a salary cap. But I would be so disgusted. Like, like you said, like that, the amount of money that they're pouring into this team, and then for them to just be okay with this and not firing their manager earlier in the season. Like, what are we doing? The GM, I mean, we talked about it a few weeks ago when we had our guest on here.
Yeah.
Like, why? This is like, it's going to be next year, he could be on the chopping block. Like, something's got to give very soon. Very soon. So, yeah, the Mets, like we say the Mets are going to Met, but this is more than Metting. Like, this is, I'm disgusted for them. Truly am. Not sorry for you guys, though, because, everyone, 2 years ago, it was, we're taking Soto. You took him, you got him. How happy are you guys now? That's all I got to say about them.
Yeah. Really, I mean, they're 34 and 43, 14 and a half games back in the division. I don't know. I don't know how you can defend that in any way, shape, or form. I don't think many people would try to defend it, but it's just, oof, what a terrible reality for the Mets. Really is. But we talked about how we had the World Cup on before. Mbappe almost scored again. But World Cup fever is hitting. When the World Cup started, I was in Italy, so I didn't really catch the full fever.
It's been amazing.
There was only like one game that I could watch per day. But, dude, it's been real. I think this is, like, I guess, sure, it's a little bit of like a homer thing to say that I think this has like been one of the coolest World Cups that we've seen. But I really do believe that it's because it's in America. Like, I really do. Like, some people are saying that it's not the best time zone to watch sports in for like the whole world.
No, it's not. It's terrible, actually.
I mean, it's great for us, but
yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of these fans come to America and really enjoy it, and I'm seeing a lot of fans talk about how they think the stadiums are a lot better than they thought they were going to be. And I just feel like there's a lot of hype around this World Cup, and maybe it's because, America has already advanced to the knockout stage. They won their first 2 games, but I don't know. I think this World Cup's got a lot of what's the word? Not momentum, but
moxie.
We got a lot of moxie and just a lot of fire behind it. That I feel like, we were in college for the last one, and being in college, I feel like you're constantly watching, sports with your friends. I feel like the last World Cup in Qatar did not have this much, momentum and aura behind it.
They bricked it. If it wasn't for Messi winning it all, that's what we're going to remember it for. But if it wasn't for that, it was because it was held in Qatar, which I don't even know how they got the World Cup to begin with.
Well, yeah, I was going to say they paid the most money ever.
They had to move it from its traditional time of being from June to July, which is the summer, which is international soccer is always played in the summer. The summer is when, kids are off and you get to watch soccer and you get to and live it, right? In the middle of fall, football season in America. Like, we were in college, like, college football is going on and the World Cup. And it's different. Yet culturally, it's different in America. Like, that is our number one sport is American football. And that's where they kind of missed the ball. But this World Cup, not to mention the biggest World Cup ever, they added 16 teams to the field. There's now a round of 32, 48 teams in total. Like, we're seeing more teams from every continent. We're getting matchups we don't think we would have ever saw. And for me, I fell in love with soccer in 2014. I grew up huge basketball fan, huge, football fan. But in 2014, I fell in love with soccer, the Brazil 2014 World Cup. And it did something for me, just being with my friends, playing soccer, watching the penalties, watching, Neymar just in his home country with Brazil. And even though he got hurt, like watching Messi go up against Germany in the final, just like I remember so much from that summer in 2014, like vividly from that World Cup. Like, that's what it's doing for this generation of kids in America. I don't think people realize how like important it is that this World Cup is in America at the time it is. American soccer or soccer has passed baseball with youth participation this year. 2026, soccer in America has passed youth participation in baseball in America. That says a lot because soccer is one of those sports where it's hard for kids to get into because it's not like pickup basketball where, you go to a hoop, you go to play basketball, boom, whatever. You can get into basketball. You got to pay a lot of money to get into these clubs. Same thing with travel baseball. Like it's an expensive sport. It's taxing on the parents. And I saw Landon Donovan talk about it a little bit. But it is just so important that it's here now because this next generation of soccer, I said it at the beginning of this pod. I was asking Scurry how many years till the U.S. is a serious team. I was completely doubtful of how they were, but this is the soccer generation in America. They've looked amazing so far. So the fact that they're in their home country performing the way they are, they got the country behind them. It's the 250th anniversary of this country. They might play England on July 4th. Like, we're going to look back at 2026, this year, this World Cup, and we're going to realize this is where it changed a lot. When we're 30 plus years old, we're going to look back and like a lot of kids are going to come back and it's going to be like, I remember the 2026 World Cup, Christian Pulisic, Flo Balogun. I remember those guys playing and I remember watching the games. And that's when I fell in love with soccer. And then we're going to see a completely different landscape when it comes to soccer and the World Cup. But yeah, like you said, like this, I was in Boston a week ago, visiting a buddy of ours. The Scotland fans took over that city. We're sitting at a Red Sox game, me and Ansh. All of a sudden, you just hear chants, singing from the Scotland fans. Like, randomly. I'm looking around like, what's going on? Everyone's walking around in kilts. They drank the city dry. Sam Adams ran out of their beer at their main location in Boston. Like, and people are getting to experience this nation, which is in the news. Like, you would think there's a war going on here on U.S. soil. But, like, it's awesome to see, like, these people coming from all walks of life into America to experience the food, the culture, these stadiums, everything about it. Like, I'm telling you, 2026 is going to go down as one of the greatest years ever. It's up there with 2016. The Knicks won it all. Arsenal won it all. Drake dropped 3 albums, and the World Cup is in America. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
What's next? Like, if Messi gets in the World Cup,
he's looking poised. He looks poised for another one. But
he does.
I didn't realize how rare it was for teams to go back to back at the World Cup. No. It's only happened twice before.
It's every 4 years. It's like those guys are out of their prime.
Yeah,
right, this dude just turns 39 in a few years or in a few days. He looks like the best of his career right now.
Yeah, no, he moves in like fast forward. Granted, he takes his good rest for sure. I'm watching the game earlier. It's so funny. He walks until there's offensive zone pressure, but the second there is, he's turning up, and that footwork is
the best ever.
Absolutely insane. Someone say Messi. He could have been about it of the week for sure.
I'll give it to you. He's my about it of the week. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, just keep
about
it going,
of the week, Lionel Messi.
Mm-hmm.
Leo Messi, the GOAT. I don't even understand how people can argue for Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, are we watching the same thing? Like, are we watching the same football? Like, I don't even understand sometimes where, like, I'm watching the stuff he does. He's turning 39 in a few days on the biggest stage, and he's just delivering. Like, he's just delivering a hat trick, a brace today. Like, some say, I saw a comment that this goal, the first goal was the goal to beat the record, right? For the most goals in World Cup history. Some say he might have missed the penalty so he can score the goal in the actual field of play. I might be delusional enough to believe that because that's how crazy good he is. Like, he could have had another hat trick today. Unbelievable. And then also we saw Lamine Yamal, like 18 years old, the same place Messi was 20 years ago at his first World Cup, scores at 18 years old. We're watching greatness. We're watching greatness, man. And that's why Messi, my about of the week. Rob, let's hear it.
My about of the week, completely different tune. Has literally nothing to do with sports. But just got back from Italy. Was in Italy for about 10 days. My cousin got married there. Anyway, my about of the week is aperitivo, which is in Italy is just basically a pre-dinner drink. If you look up, literally, it's something about literally just getting you ready for dinner and drinking more. But what's so great about aperitivo is that they bring you like little like snacks when you order your drink. And I'm talking like, maybe you get little olives, you get like an arancini, which is like a fried rice ball. At the hotel I was staying at, one of them, they had like little mini pizzas, they had fried prawns, and like people didn't realize that you don't have to pay for that stuff. Like that just comes with it. Like you see them start bringing food over. It's like, no, we didn't order that. No, that is just coming with the drink. It's such a beautiful touch before you go out to dinner. Like, especially when you're getting drinks with friends, like God forbid people did that in America. Like the most you'll get is some half stale chips. If you want any sort of food, you got to pay for everything. But, being an Italian, someone that always, needs their hands moving at a dinner table, being able to, sip on a drink and then also even just reach for some olives. I'm a big olive guy. And I don't know, I love it. So that's my bout of the week. I could have made Italy my whole bout of the week, but maybe we'll just talk about that more.
First of all, so aperitivo, it's not, is it a cocktail itself or is it two different types? Like, it's what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's just like,
so what was your
doing.
Cocktail that you drank for your, I see the spritz is up here. I see.
Yeah, the spritz is huge up north, which is where I was. So, I mean, I'm not really a big spritz guy. Like all my girl cousins on the trip, they were loving it. I did have a bunch of I tried every single one. They have Aperol too. Aperol spritz is huge. Hugo spritz, and they have the Sardi spritz, which is like a new one up north. I tried all three of them. I like the Hugo the most. I don't think it's as sweet in my opinion. Maybe some people maybe say it's sweeter. I don't know. But yeah, I was drinking literally anything.
Yeah. What is this
Rome.
Negroni? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Negroni.
Negroni.
That's big. That's big. No, that's like straight. Like that's heavy. Like I think. Why am I blanking on what's in the Negroni? Negroni's strong. Negroni's like straight. Negroni's like drinking almost like an old fashioned.
Okay.
Like that. It's that kind of style of drink. Like Negroni is gin, Campari, and vermouth. It's like very like it's rough. It's more of a mature drink. You're not gonna find too many kids our age like drinking. It's not drinking Negroni. Maybe they are. They're pretty mature if they are, but. It's not like a drink that you're gonna like. Oh, let's go have 10 Negronis. That's You're on demon mode if you're drinking.
So it sounds like you loved the trip, right? You loved the homeland, the motherland. So for you, love was in the air in Italy. Love was in the air.
Here we go.
Did you get any? I guess you could say. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, be careful what you say. Be careful with what you're about to choose.
Lit a light bulb. Was there any enthusiasm with finding a wife out there? I'm sure it was.
Oh my gosh, bro, you're nuts.
No.
No.
I think now you're realizing that I'm getting close to that time now.
No, like again, this is another wedding where I go to and I just wow, like this is a reality for people.
So no motivation.
This is a reality. No, my motivation was to just drink and eat more at the wedding. That was my motivation. I was the last one eating.
Congrats to your cousin. Like, love's in the air. It probably sparked something.
Maybe you seem to be hinting towards something. Maybe you're wanting to get married.
Yeah.
What are you trying to hint at?
I'm just trying to see if you go back to the motherland. That's normally where that stuff happens. No, we talk about it all the time. The motherland is where it's at.
Maybe one day, but just to think about the women of this generation thinking of even bringing one over there. Oh my God, how disgusting! How disgusting to even think about bringing some of these girls over to Italy to see where I'm from. Please.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, I mean that's like a whole other thing. The amount of couples that were at my cousin's wedding, and God bless all of them. I hope they all stay together and get married, and are together till the day I die or till the day they die. But to think that there's a chance that one of those couples doesn't end up together and they were in a wedding in Italy together. Oh my God, makes me sick. But that's just my psychotic brain, folks.
I can't.
What are you gonna do? Man. But no, I mean, Italy it's incredible. It really is. Now I'm just going on a little bit of a tangent here, but if anyone ever tells you Italy's overrated, they're just an idiot. They didn't do their trip right. They don't know good food. I've been fortunate enough. I've been to Italy twice in the past year now. First 2 times in my life. One was more down south trip. This one was more up north. It's been the two best experiences of my life. Obviously, my family's from Italy, so I am a little biased, but my mom put together, an amazing first trip. The second trip was kind of like a team effort of the family because, the cousins getting married. Then we visited more family. It's like, it was truly so incredible. If anyone ever tells you Italy's overrated, they just didn't plan the trip good enough, because sure, you can get a little too carried away with the sightseeing, and then it almost becomes like a drag of like, you're constantly walking and you're tired and you can't catch up. And, you got to survive a little mild dehydration in Italy without a doubt, because getting water in Europe is, harder than robbing, a bank in America. So you got to deal with that. But if anyone ever tells you, oh, the food's overhyped, they don't know good food. That I will stand on for till the day I die. If anyone ever tells you the food in Italy is overrated, they either went to the ultimate tourist trap spot, or they are just a complete bozo who doesn't know what good food is. And always the complaint with Italian food is it doesn't have enough seasoning, and they just say because it's fresh, it lacks flavor. No. That's because you're used to eating salty garbage.
Like a big bag.
Yes, exactly.
Like the biggest.
Salty garbage, processed food back home that you actually can't taste the difference between a fresh tomato from Italy and one back home. Like, that is truly a real thing, that when people say the tomatoes there are insane, yes, they are. You can taste the freshness of the tomatoes, or you can taste the freshness of everything you eat in Italy if you are going to the right spots. Like, yes, having fresh ingredients is a taste. That is in itself flavor. Like, you don't need salt on every little thing. I can't stand, literally, like, I feel like both times I come back from Italy, I see a TikTok of someone saying, oh my God, I was craving Chick-fil-A when I got back. Like, you're disgusting. You did, I guess to some degree, like, there's a lot of seafood in Italy. So like, maybe when you get back, you want like a burger or something. I get it. But like, the people are saying, oh my God, the food's so overrated. Like, there's no salt, there's no seasoning. Like, are you that stupid? This is how you operate through life? Oh my gosh. How terrible.
No, but seriously, when I was in Europe earlier this year, like, that was my favorite thing about the food, is how light some of the places were, and just also getting to try different things. You're in another country. Like, it's not going to be like home. Like, also, America is notoriously big backed. Like, notoriously wide backs are in this country. So this is a known thing. Mm-hmm. You got to go over there with an open mind, and also you got to understand that it's different. Like, it is different, and it's. I'm sure it's better. Like, I'm sure it is better. I'm gonna get into my not about it of the week. Mm-hmm. I've been real ticked off about this. I talked about it in my solo episode. These Kyrie Irving nostalgia merchants that have just ridiculous, completely trying to rewrite history, as if we didn't watch the same thing the last 10 years or so, right? Mm-hmm. Kyrie Irving is one of my favorite players of all time. One of my favorite players of all time. My first 3 basketball shoes, I guess when I started buying my own shoes, were Kyrie's growing up. Like, I only played in Kyrie's for years. Like, this is one of my favorite players. But to say that he's better than Jalen Brunson is so ridiculous to me. This is the same Kyrie Irving that has never made second team All-NBA. Never made second team All-NBA. Brunson has done it twice. The same Kyrie Irving that has never recorded a single MVP vote in his whole career. A single vote. As in, when they sit down to vote, the voters, and they rank guys from 1 through 10 throughout the vote, Kyrie has never been up there once. Brunson's received 144 votes. The same Kyrie that when he was a number 1 option on a team with 2 All-Stars and 2 Hall of Famers in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, one who has a Finals MVP, proven winners, when he was the number 1 option on that same team, and they went up against Giannis, he couldn't even get cracked 20 points per game. Shot horrifically, 30% from the field throughout the series, throughout the playoffs. Like, why are we trying to rewrite history? Yes, Kyrie is probably the most skilled NBA player to ever step on an NBA court, ever. Yes, I agree. Like, he's flashy. His work around the rim, his crafty footwork, his crafty handles. Yes. But when we talk about guys' legacies and we rank them all time, it's not an eye test. It's never been an eye test. Like, it's first the accolades. What have they done in their career? The whole point of sports is to win, right? Yes, Kyrie has a ring. Yes, he was important down the stretch of that series when they came back 3-1. LeBron James is on the team. That is arguably the GOAT for some people. Like, he averaged damn near a 30-point triple-double. Kyrie was never guarded by the best defender in that whole series. Never. So I need people to understand that when you are the Robin to a guy like LeBron James, your game will be better. When he was the number one option, what did he do? That's what I want to see. What did he do? Jalen Brunson, what he just did versus the first and only ever unanimous defensive player of the year. Let me repeat myself. The first and only unanimous defensive player of the year. 7'5" this kid is. Brunson averaged 32 points per game. He averaged 28 points per game throughout the playoffs. Led the playoffs in total. When has Kyrie ever done that? Like, you look at what they did in the first few, like, I'm so confused as to why we are even comparing the two. Like, Brunson just cemented himself as one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. I love Kyrie. I do. Like, he is one of my favorite players. But you cannot compare the two. Like, it is just he has a finals MVP. And that should just be the end of the conversation right there. His seasons are complete, or more complete than Kyrie's have ever been. And they fall back with Kyrie's injuries. Well, availability is the best ability. Where are you? Are you on the floor? Brunson has 2 national titles, a state championship. He's won player of the tournament at the Under-21 World Cup. He is that guy. He just won a finals MVP as the only all-NBA player on the team this year. What are we talking about, man? Like, it's not even an argument for me. I had to get it off my chest. You nostalgia merchants are the same ones that ruin, I guess, NBA takes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I saw someone tweet. It was like, this is, or it was like, Jalen Brunson will never be able to do this. And it was a highlight reel of, like,
cool.
Kyrie handles and stuff. But it was ironic, and someone quote tweeted it because the first highlight was him with an insane, handle, and then he missed the layup. And it was kind of like, that's like a microcosm of this whole debate. It's like, great, Kyrie's got better handles, but like Brunson, number one option on a championship winning team. Like, that's the whole point of the argument. But you said enough, without a doubt. It's I agree.
His name's
Brunson,
Captain Clutch for a reason. He puts the ball in the net when it matters most, and that's what he did. He's a winner.
1,000%. I got a quick not about it of the week. I think AI can be really great for society, but I am so sick of AI slop. Like, the amount of bullshit like we're seeing now on social media and just in general of AI, like people who use AI for, actual scripts for videos. Like, I understand, like, maybe you want to use it for like ideating, but like to literally have full-blown scripts for your videos that are AI is insane to me as a creator. The amount of tweets that you can tell are AI on Twitter now. And it's like, a lot of it is like for like stocks and stuff. And it's just like, or even just, I don't know. It's just, there's so much AI slop out there, and it's just gross. Like I think AI can be like such a great tool, and it makes cool stuff and thumbnails and, is great for, getting information, but there is just way too much AI, like just garbage out there nowadays. So yeah, that's my not about of the week.
Right. Some of these trends, like they use AI. It can be funny, but even not, like big brands are using AI, like for graphics. I saw Michelob Ultra, like used AI because Messi's signed to them for this World Cup. They used AI like to use, like it was a picture of Messi's cleats, and they didn't even realize in that, as an Instagram ad, like a meta ad, that the back of his cleats, like the spikes on the back of his cleats were gone. Like it was like they look like indoor cleats. And then the Messi on the shoe, there was no I at the end of his name. It was another E. Like little things like that, dude. It's just, why? And it's also taking so many jobs too. So that's a whole other part.
Yep. Yeah. Before we get out of here, I got a question for you.
Okay.
I saw this somewhere on a podcast, or I don't even know what it was. So, shout out to them if this blows up and they get mad about it. But I just wanted to ask you the same question. Is it cheating if your girl goes out with her friends and she's waiting in line at a bar and it's cold and she accepts another man's jacket?
I don't think that's cheating. I don't, because like at the end of the day,
random dude.
At the end of the day,
not a friend of a friend, random dude behind them.
So there's a lot of questions that I have.
Okay, I'll answer them for you.
So, is this guy doing this in a way to flirt? Or is he just
how are you supposed to know that? How are you supposed to know that?
Well, how am I supposed to know that the guy is even doing it in the first place? You feel what I'm saying? It's like a lot of things. There's a lot of factors.
So, like, maybe you see a photo one of her friends puts on the private story, like, oh, it's so cold. Like, she has a jacket on her, right? And you're like, whose jacket is that? It's not mine. It's not hers. She comes home and you're like, whose jacket was that? She's like, oh, some dude gave it to me to be nice. You're going to believe her word that the guy was just doing it to be nice? He has no idea that she's taken before he puts the jacket on her.
I'm gonna say this. I think the number one thing here is that yes, your girlfriend is comfortable. She's not in the rain. She's not cold. Whatever. Yeah, like that's the main thing. I'm not gonna say it's cheating, but it would rub me the wrong way. In a way, like it would. I would not. It wouldn't. I'm not gonna say I would be upset at it. I wouldn't be like, yay, my girl's got another man's jacket on. But like, I would be happy that she wasn't sitting out there in the cold. But at the end of the day,
no, you wouldn't. You would rather her be cold than another man's. Yes, you would. James, get the hell out of here. Who are you trying to fool? You would rather your girl be cold than another man put her jacket. She's standing in line. She's all cold. Some dude comes up. Hey, you could take my jacket. Yeah. Oh yeah. How's that sound now?
Hey, bro.
He probably think he's slick. He probably thinks that he's gonna, go inside, talk to her even more, get to know her. He probably thought he just had the best in of the night naturally with a girl. I don't know. It's a tough question.
Do you think it's cheating?
That's what I'm saying. I know.
The question is, do you think it's cheating? I don't think it's cheating, but I will say
it's not cheating,
in the back of my
but
head,
it's damn near close.
Yeah, like it would be in the back of my head.
It's a very.
We're gonna be called fragile for that, but no, like
in this world, man, the lines are very blurred
because we're men, and like you would think, hey, listen, I'm helping this girl out. She's gonna think I'm a gentleman. Like that's who I am, and now I got an in, right? So that's how we. But
also, the part of the question is she's in line at a bar. When you're going to bars, you're going to meet people. Maybe you're trying to meet a girl. That's the thing. It's not like you're in this like random location where like you see somebody cold, or like maybe you're waiting for like the train or something. They're cold. You give them a jacket. You're talking about going to a bar or club,
and she accepts another man's jacket. All right, I'm going to answer the question last time. It's not cheating. However, it's a thin line, very thin line, and she's scooching up to it.
Well, let's go one step further. No. One step further. They end up following each other on the gram.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
end it right there.
There should be no information. If I'm in a picture, there should be no switching of information ever with another man whatsoever.
Oh, my God.
A coworker, a buddy from a hobby, nothing, none of that. Like, what's the point? What's the point of what we got going on here? They say never let a girlfriend stop you from finding your wife.
Yeah,
I understand that, but no, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a funny question. I'm glad that I asked it. I really am. But
man, we got to find more questions.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was literally what I was gonna say. We got to like do a question like that every week, but I think that'll do it for this week. I don't know if next week will be in person or not. I don't know where I'm gonna be for definite right now, but guys, please comment some more punishments for my Ilya Topuria prediction. Like I'm really struggling. I'm trying to think of stuff myself. Again, I want it to be something that I can do. Let me just rephrase this. For those that don't know, I made a bold prediction that Ilya Topuria would knock out Justin Gaethje in the first round. If he didn't, I would do a punishment. Ends up losing the fight. Still in disbelief. Can't believe it. My heart hurts for Ilya. I don't care. People could say, "Oh, he brags too much." No. You got to be ultra confident as a fighter. His world has been shattered recently. Whatever. So obviously he doesn't win the fight. And so I have to do a punishment. And I want to do something that I can do on camera. Like I want to do something that you guys can be a part of, that, I can post and like you guys can actually see. I haven't thought of anything other than the hot chip challenge.
Oh my gosh. That'd be
like, crazy. I'll do the hot chip challenge. I really will. Like if that's what we settle on. But like I can't think of anything else. So please comment like other things. Like people are like, get a tattoo. Guys, I'm not getting a tattoo. I might not ever get a tattoo in my life. You think I'm getting one for a punishment? Like, are you nuts? People are crazy. But no, I want to do some kind of punishment. I just can't.
Comment, please. Please comment.
Like also, it doesn't necessarily, I guess it doesn't have to necessarily be something that has to take place during the show. Like maybe I can go do something elsewhere and film it. I mean, for the Ilya Taporia prediction, I wouldn't really exactly want to do like an IHOP 24-hour challenge. Like, because I wasn't at like that. Maybe there should be levels to my like bold predictions. Like if the Knicks had lost the finals, I would have done the IHOP 24-hour challenge. Because that's how confident I was. In a UFC fight where anything can go a certain way, maybe I'll do the hot chip challenge. Maybe I'll just start it off with that. Unless somebody comments something better. Anj said, don't eat any more pasta in Italy to end your trip. You nuts? What? I mean, now my life's just getting exponentially worse.
Yeah,
that's not happening.
That's a little much.
Keep some punishments coming, and I'll definitely do it soon.
Yep, guys, we appreciate you so much for tuning in. We did drop the merch. Saw a few of those orders. I'm pretty sure they're coming out now. Thank you guys so much for watching, man, tuning in. We are finally back after that short hiatus. Mm-hmm. We have actually an episode dropping tonight and then another episode. So thank you guys so much, man. Yep. Support's been amazing. This summer is going to be just one of the greatest ever. Like, it will be. So we appreciate you guys for watching the Hillside Club. I'm James Martin III.
I'm Rob Cardini.
Peace, guys. Thank you.